So let's start with the basics, okay?
Yep.
Now, the question that tends to come up, especially when you're traveling with little ones, is where are we going to stay?
Yep.
So can we start there? Let's start there and, give someone some tips about where they can stay, what their options are when they come to the parks.
Well, we have different opinions about this, but my children, when we go to Disney World, it has to be about characters. It has to be about color. And we love going to Pop Century and Art of Animation. Those are our top resorts. Just because when you go there, you're going to see a giant statue of King Triton or a Cars Land theme. And it's just more imaginative.
Right.
My son says, I'm not really at Disney World unless it looks like I'm Disney, even when I'm sleeping. So we love that. That's where we go. And to be honest, it makes me happy to see them want to take pictures in front of every statue.
Oh,
So it's just cute.
And then Lauren, you're on a different level.
I'm on a little bit different level,
Okay.
only because, one thing I think when you have little kids is location.
Correct.
Right? And so I love the Contemporary because of its location and proximity to Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
So you can walk from the Contemporary into Magic Kingdom Park. And
Correct.
so many families want to hit Magic Kingdom really hard. They want that iconic Cinderella Castle photo. And so you can walk back and forth. And I know we're going to talk about this later, but there's so many good dining options at the Contemporary.
Yes.
And I think it's just a great place if you have little ones and it fits in your budget. And one thing I will add in about Art of Animation, because I love that one too, is that they have family suites.
Yes.
And those family suites have 2 bathrooms, and Nimmy and I were like, oh, you can't beat it with 2 bathrooms.
Yes.
It
It is a game changer to have 2 bathrooms. You get one that's a tub, so you can bathe your little one.
Perfect.
And then one when your knees are tired at the end of the day, you can step right into the shower. So I love both of them.
Oh my goodness. Yes. 2 bathrooms, that's a big deal. Yes. That's a great tip. Already we're getting good tips. Okay. Now, we mentioned staying on property. There are some benefits to that, right?
There's so many benefits to staying on property. The first one that kind of comes to mind for me is transportation to the parks.
Yes.
It's just easier, right? There's so many things that makes it easier. So with transportation, first of all, it's complimentary, right? We have the free bus transportation that brings you between the parks, resorts, Disney Springs. And then we have the monorail and the Skyliner where you don't have to fold up your stroller. You can just go right on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it easier. So when you go home, essentially to your hotel room, you're right there. Your resort room is much closer to you. It's accessible. And you do not need a car seat or a booster on this transportation. So I hate lugging that on the plane back from New York.
Yes.
So it's so nice to just have one less thing in my luggage and I am able to get right on the transportation and be in a room and rest or come back. So I do love that about the resorts. And another thing, and I don't know if your kids sleep like this, but my son, when he goes to bed at night, he's like a ninja warrior. I have no clue. He goes to bed in one position, then he wakes up and he's like flipped over somewhere. So we always try to ask for bed rails.
Yes.
And it's complimentary as well. If they have them available, you just call ahead and ask and they'll provide them for you. And sometimes if they have more than one, you might need 2 sides blocked off. But they are very helpful. There's so many of these other things.
Oh, I love that. Now, I know we have a little bonus if we stay on property when it comes to enjoying the parks a little earlier, correct?
Oh, absolutely. She
Yeah.
was talking about sleeping. I don't know about you. I know you have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even no matter how much we spent time at the parks or how late we were up at night, they were still up at the crack of dawn in the morning.
Too excited.
Yeah, they're so excited to be here. And so one of the on-site guest amenities is that you can hit early entry hours at the park. And so you can get into the park early before the other guests and take advantage of maybe some shorter lines and take advantage of all that awake time those little ones have. She said something else I wanted to mention.
Okay.
We didn't take advantage of the crib rails, but when my kids were here, we took advantage of the pack and play. So you can also request pack and plays for your room.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling with like babies or toddlers who still sleep in a crib at home, that's something that I found as a mom, it didn't disrupt their sleep as much.
Yes.
If we put a pack and play that was complimentary, not only did I not have to drag it from Pennsylvania, so that was very convenient, it just helped them kind of stay a little bit more on their schedule and fall asleep better at night.
Oh my goodness. I love that that's something that we can actually ask for.
Yes,
and
you
it's
can
just
actually ask for
offered.
it.
No extra fee for that.
No, complimentary, And the other complimentary thing that they do that we took full advantage of when my guys were little, and even as they've grown, is the activities offered at the resorts.
Oh, okay.
So my pro tip is that once you check in, make sure you take a picture of the activities calendar at whatever resort you're staying at, because they will have a list of things like pool parties and movies under the stars and all kind of fun things that will keep your little ones entertained.
Oh my goodness, there's so much to do even right there at your resort.
Yep.
But obviously, we got to talk a little bit about theme parks too.
Yeah, gotta talk about the
just
parks.
a tiny bit. I mean,
Yes,
look
we're
where we
here.
are right now.
Right,
We're literally
right.
inside of Magic Kingdom Park.
Yep.
So we should probably talk about
Yes.
some of the things that parents can use when it comes to the theme parks, and what are some of the amenities that they can use inside of the theme parks if they have young kids?
Yep.
So since I've been coming here with my children since they were babies, I've had to use the baby care centers quite often. I actually was a nursing mom, and I nursed in every park in Walt Disney World. And it's my claim to fame, I guess, right? But I love the baby care centers. It's just a quiet place. It's in every park map. Check your Disney Experience app. There's going to be a little feature to search for it, but they're quiet. They're even in like muted tones. There's not as much music playing in the background, or maybe not at all. And kids can come in there, and we can use the kid-sized potty seat, the toilets that don't have the automatic flush, because my daughter is terrified of that automatic flush. There's nursing areas, of course. There's a place to heat up bottles. There's even like a little shop. You can buy some things you forgot, like baby wipes or a diaper that you ran out. And so I just love them. And when you have an older child too, so if I had a baby and an older child, there's like usually like coloring pages, or there's an area for them to sit or quietly eat, or just to like decompress for a little bit. So I love them. They're like this special little haven in all the parks. So if you're a mom with a baby, or a parent with a baby, make sure you check them out. It's a great resource.
It's also great for pregnant moms.
Oh, yeah.
I remember going to the baby care center if I just needed a break. Like I needed 10 minutes to put my feet up. And that was so nice and quiet, and it's just so welcoming in there too.
Yeah.
Now I know another amenity that Lauren, you've used.
So my claim to fame is that the first aid centers, right? I technically have probably used them more than my little children have.
Gosh.
So there's that. But in every single park, you can find a first aid center in addition to the baby care center.
Yeah.
And it's really for those things like Band-Aids, or if you get motion sickness or something, and mom and dad needs something, a little ice pack, maybe your toddler on their unsteady legs is running too quickly and falls over, and they just need a quick little remedy for something, you can pop in there.
Yes, I love that. And another thing that I know I see a lot, especially you'll probably see it behind us a couple of times, are that the stroller rentals here. So you don't even have to bring a stroller from home. Can we elaborate a little bit more about that? That's so important for bringing little ones.
Absolutely. I think one of the themes that we've kind of established so far is like, let's make it easy for parents, right?
Yes.
We don't want to drag bed rails. We don't want to drag pack and plays. We don't want to drag strollers necessarily, especially if you're flying. So you can rent a stroller in all of the parks. And if you pay one price and you're park hopping, you can leave it, keep your receipt. That's really important. And then you can pick up another stroller in a different park.
Wow.
Yeah, just keep those receipts, moms and dads who are listening.
Oh my god.
Because that's important to remember.
I love that. That is so great that it's just a one purchase. And then they're really making it easy. They're trying to make it as easy as possible.
Making it easy for people. And you can actually run it for multiple days in a row. So you can do a multi-day rental as well.
Okay. All right. That's so great. I love that. All right. Now, we've talked about helpful services for park guests with little ones. Let's talk about fun, please. So let's talk about attractions and the entertainment that guests can enjoy with their little ones throughout the parks.
So my kids are really funny. They love any ride that spins. So if we're spinning, they're having fun. So it's teapots, it's Dumbo, it's magic carpets, it's anything that spins, alien swirling saucers. And even though mom has vertigo sometimes, I'll do my best, and we'll be there, and we'll just hit up first aid and make sure we're taken care of. But there are just so many classic fun rides here in Walt Disney World, and I just love doing them with my kids of any height. A lot of them are just great for any height, so I love to do that with them.
And it's great that we're here in Magic Kingdom Park, because this is probably one where you can definitely bring your little one, and they can do a lot of the attractions here, right?
There's so many things to do in this park. One of my favorites, the iconic one that everybody knows, is It's a Small World, right?
Yes.
And I will tell you, one of my absolute favorite memories as a mom, I brought my son when he was 1, and my grandmother was with us on that trip. And so we get on It's a Small World, and he was so excited. He was clapping, and he was like singing along. And I look over, and she is so excited to watch her great-grandson experience this for the very first time. And so even though she's no longer with us, I have that memory and I have that picture. And nothing will ever top that for me, of just seeing him, with her and in that ride. And it's so colorful, and I think so many kids love it because of that.
Yes.
Oh, and another one that I absolutely love, if your kids like to interact and they really want to, get up close and personal with the characters, is Enchanted Tales with Belle. So it recently reopened, and I have the best experience from when one of my little ones was there. So my youngest had a little bit of an unhealthy obsession with Belle.
Okay, understandable.
He was crushing real hard on her for like multiple years. And so we go to this, and it's the most adorable because they have audience participation, right? And so the kids can go up front, and they're kind of part of the story. And so at the end, we're taking pictures, and he's holding her hand, and we're like, okay, thank you, thanks, Belle, like time to go. And he's like, no, like no, buddy, it's really time to go. And we did have to kind of pry him away from Belle because he loved her so much. But, just so many other entertainment options that aren't really rides or attractions, but just kind of entertainment in the park.
Oh my gosh. I think people do not understand how fabulous the parades are at Walt Disney World Resort.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are missing out. One of my favorites is the Festival of Fantasy Parade. My oldest, though, he feels like he's at an age now, he's 9. He thinks he's a little too cool for these parades, that they're boring. I want to ride. I want an experience. But we recently, did a parade recently, and I look back and I see his jaws dropped and he's in awe. And there's a fire-breathing dragon, this is insane what happens. And the shows, the music, it is an experience, and my daughter just is waving constantly at every character. It's a memory. You have to do the parades.
Oh my gosh, every time.
Or the cavalcades, the surprise ones.
Oh,
and they just show up, and they're on the app. They're not really surprised. They're on the app. You can see them.
Oh, and the castle shows too.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and those are on the My Disney Experience app. Like you can see when the castle shows, and they're short, which is really good for a little attention span, right?
Exactly.
So if you have 3-year-old, they can't really sometimes sit for too long, but they can stand for 10, 15 minutes and watch a castle show and wave at Mickey, and it's adorable.
Yeah. It's a big impact, a little time, and there's a fireworks thing. It's nice.
Yes, exactly. And that wraps back to what both of you have said about taking a little break.
Yeah.
So it's just a really simple one, but they get to see the wow of a castle show.
Yeah.
And it's not just characters. I know you have such a sweet story about maybe a very first haircut experience.
Oh, yes. So my son's first official haircut was actually on Halloween Day here at Magic Kingdom Park at the Harmony Barbershop. And you can make a reservation, and you can do a thing called like a first haircut kind of package. And it was just really sweet. And he was crying. He was not ready for that moment. It's a little bit weird. And so for him, he's never had a haircut before. But they did such a great job. And these cast members are so kind. And he was wearing his Buzz Lightyear costume because it was Halloween.
Aww.
And they had found a Buzz Lightyear light up toy, and they were just playing it for him. And that was it. It was all it took. He stopped crying. He got his haircut done. And he got a beautiful little Mickey hat that we took pictures with. And it's just a memory we'll always cherish that happened. And I love that.
Oh, that's so sweet. And you don't have to be little to get your haircut there.
You do not.
Just a hot tip.
Hot tip.
Yeah,
any age.
That's right. So if maybe they're 5 or 6 and they still want to get their hair cut
Yes.
at Walt Disney World, it can be arranged.
Yep.
Yes.
It absolutely can.
Yes.
My kids just did it, and they are not babies anymore. So.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I feel like we've talked about Magic Kingdom Park, which is a wonderful park.
Yep.
But let's hop over to something a little more Hollywood.
Yep.
You ready for that?
Ready. Let's do it. Yep.
All right, Lauren, tell us a little bit more about what we can do with little ones at Hollywood Studios.
So one of my absolute favorite attractions at Hollywood for little ones is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
Everybody loves Mickey Mouse. You kind of come here and you have to do your Mickey Mouse stuff right. But it is a family-friendly attraction, and I love it. Not as a little one, but just as a fan. So make sure that's a must-do is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Absolutely. Yes. And I know that Nimmy, your kids love Toy Story.
If you've grown up in the last 50 years, I don't even know how long, it's been such a long time, you are a fan of Toy Story.
Yes.
You've seen the movies, you've cried, you've had so many emotions. It's our family favorite. And so when you enter Toy Story Land, you're now toys.
Yes.
And you're in Andy's toy box, you're living as a toy, and we love it. And you get to experience some of the best rides that are just like kid friendly. So like alien swirling saucers, and again, another spinning ride, right? Always spinning.
Back to the first aid station.
Back to first aid.
Available at Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
If you hit too many spinning rides.
But it's a magical place, and it's just walking through it is an experience in itself.
Yes, it is. I feel like there's so much to do at Hollywood Studios.
There's so much. And, if you're doing multiple attractions and you notice that your kids really need a little bit of a break, one wonderful thing I love about Hollywood Studios is they have some great kind of longer sit down entertainment in air conditioning.
Yes.
You know, so if it's a hot day, especially if you're visiting, you know, in the warmer months, one of my favorites is the Frozen sing along.
Yes.
And I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but at the end, there's a little magic moment. And so if you're a Frozen fan, make sure you write that one down and check your wait times and check your show times on your My Disney Experience mobile app.
Okay.
So if you log into your app, you can kind of click toggle at the top and it might say wait times. You can check entertainment and show times to make sure you can get to the Frozen sing along.
Yes. Oh, that is a great tip. And my kids are way too old for it now.
Nope.
But the Disney Junior Dance Party.
Oh,
Like,
that's a lot of fun.
Every time we walk past it, I'm like, I wish you were still little so we could go
Yeah.
in there and have a great time.
Yeah.
So there's just so many options.
Yeah,
and I
there's
don't
so
think
many options.
people realize how much they
Yes.
have
Yes.
to look at and enjoy with their little ones at Hollywood Studios.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
well,
can sit down and
you
relax.
can sit.
Yes.
Right. Yes. It's not all go, go, go
Yes.
over there, which is really great. But you know what? We've got 2 down.
Yes.
But I think we need to go to the one that is least expected.
Oh,
For
yes.
little ones. Let's do that. Let's
Okay.
switch it up, Lauren.
Okay.
Let's
Let's do
talk
it.
about Epcot.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. So at Epcot, my kids absolutely love a scavenger hunt.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think like Epcot and scavenger hunt, but they have so many good options during the festival season. So, you know, recently we were there, and I think the one during Food and Wine is like Remy's Ratatouille scavenger hunt around.
Yes.
And it's so cute. Like in each of the countries you walk around and you look for ingredients or you look for Chef Remy doing something cute. And you can just go and for a small fee, you buy the map and they have stickers and you put stickers on once you kind of complete it. And they have a really cool prize at the end. And that's something that my kids love because it kind of takes you the whole way around World Showcase. And, you know, bonus for mom and dad, we might stop and grab a snack or a drink while we're
please.
looking for that, right? So, yeah, it's a good way for them to feel like involved, and they love to look for that kind of stuff. And I know you like the prizes.
I'm all about prizes. I'm all
Yes.
about merch. I'm all about. So one of the things that you get is like a beautiful, you know, something. It's a container or a little thing, cup, and you can actually redeem and get that right at the beginning, right at purchase. And I highly recommend that because if it's a really coveted item, if your child's like, I'm in this for that Mickey cup or whatever, get it then. And
Okay.
then I hide them in my stroller, and we then, you know, do the scavenger hunt all day, and it can take all day, or we may or may not finish. But you know, you tried your best. Here's your reward. Here's that Figment container, whatever it is. And so get it at the front, get it right at the beginning, and make sure you have it so that they get what they want. And then also, if you're buying multiples, there are discounts. So, you know, the kids, if they're not going to share, and that might not happen, make sure each one has their own.
We always buy two.
And there's a discount for the other one.
Yeah. That's a great tip too. Love that there's a discount if you get multiple. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and it keeps the peace. So right in the Seas Pavilion where Nimmy was talking about, the Turtle Talk with Crush, the kids can sit on the floor and he comes out and it is adorable and he can ask questions back and forth. So if you have a little one that really likes to kind of interact with characters, that's another cool one to participate in.
Oh, I love that too.
Oh, and we forgot about KidCot.
We did forget about
KidCot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's like every country in the World Showcase has a cast member that can represent that country or is able to teach about that country. And there's like a little station, and you get a little Ziploc bag, and inside of it you do an activity or a coloring page or something. You get a sticker or something. You know, like there's so many little things. Each country has its own, and my son is obsessed with it. He would actually carry it after the trip for weeks, and he would put other stickers in it or anything, maps, menus.
Right.
And it would always end up in there, and he loved it because and for him, collecting and doing something, that's like a big part of what's fun for him.
Right. It's a big memory for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. Okay, I feel like we hinted to animals when we talked a little bit about Crush.
Yep.
We did. So let's hop on over to, I feel like it's my favorite park to take little ones to. Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
Let's hop into it. Nimmy, tell us all about it.
So if you're coming to Animal Kingdom, you
Yes.
have to go on Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Okay.
My daughter calls it the Animal Scavenger Hunt. We'll continue with that theme. It is so much fun. It is actually a nice, like a good long experience. And you're seeing real live animals. And that giraffe is actually going to be walking in front of you quite possibly. So it's exciting.
Oh, that is so exciting for little ones to see,
Yeah.
and like their eyes get so big. Oh, so much fun. Now, there are so many different things to do, obviously, in Animal Kingdom. I mean, let's stick with the scavenger hunt theme.
You can't go wrong with a scavenger hunt with
Yes.
little kids. You know, at Animal Kingdom, they have Wilderness Explorers,
Okay.
which my kids absolutely love. So if you've watched the movie Up, you know what Wilderness Explorers are, right? And you can go and get the booklet. And I will tell you that, so one year we got the booklet, right? And we're going through, and we just didn't get everything done because we were doing other stuff in the park. And we had to save those booklets for like 16 months until we came back the next year to complete their scavenger hunt in Animal Kingdom.
Dedicated mama.
We were dedicated. And they're lucky I didn't lose it, but we found them, we brought them back. My favorite thing about that, honestly, as a mom, is that they got so invested in learning about the animals. So this is a little bit different of a scavenger hunt from like the EPCOT ones, because the cast members are actually at the different stations and they're going to teach the kids about things in the animals. And it's really cool. It's like a learning opportunity, but they don't know. They feel like it's just fun.
Yes, and I know it takes you all around the park, the Wilderness Explorers.
Yeah, and it's part of all of the lands. You're going to walk through Asia, you're going to walk through Africa.
Yes.
And it kind of reminds me, though, if you're a parent and you're doing all these scavenger hunts and you feel like it's just time for us to take a break, right? But you want to stay in the park and you want to still have fun. They have so many good entertainment options at Animal Kingdom. There's such good shows there that the parents can take advantage of with little ones.
Yeah. So we have Festival of the Lion King.
Yes. Festival of the
Gotta
Lion
get the whole
King.
name in there.
You have to see that.
And then we have a new Nemo show, right?
It's so good. The other thing I will recommend if you're an animal lover, full disclosure, I'm terrified of birds. And so I actually haven't done this one. I love to say yes at Disney. I actually said no at this one just because mom is terrified of birds. But Feathered Friends in Flight is a perfect show for kids because, you get to see these gorgeous colored birds. And if you're not terrified like me, it's a great option.
I know you've seen it, Nimmy.
Yeah, it isn't that bad.
Okay.
I mean, they're not flying that close to you.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
I'll give it a shot.
They're well trained.
They're well trained.
I'll need panelists on either side of me to hold my hand, but maybe I'll try.
Well, maybe that'll be us.
Okay.
We'll see what we're doing later today.
All right, perfect. Yeah, very good.
Another story you told me, we talked about this yesterday, is the affection station.
Oh, the affection station. Okay, so I feel like parents of little ones, when my guys were toddlers and preschool age, they wanted to put their hands on everything.
Right.
They just wanted to touch everything, and I was constantly like, oh, you can't touch that giraffe as we're going through Kilimanjaro, right? But if you take the train, you can take the train out to Rafiki's Planet Watch, and there's an affection station out there, and they have like baby goats and pigs, and the kids can pet them and feed them, and it's super adorable, and your kids can get hands-on with those animals. And so it's perfect for the preschool crowd.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I love that. There's
There's
so
like
much.
several Wilderness Explorer stops there too. So
Okay.
you gotta go there for those stops. And it's just a lot. I feel like you almost got transported into another park when you take that train because it's so quiet, it's peaceful, and it's actually like calming there. There's some picnic tables. You could eat a little lunch. It's nice.
Oh, that is nice. That's a great break. Although I feel like Animal Kingdom has a lot of breaks, a lot of break areas, especially for little ones, just to kind of like relax or maybe run around and roam, which is really nice.
There's the boneyard there too. So back in Dino Land, there's like a little play area that kids can go in, and mom and dad can kind of sit off to the side, and the kids can run around. They need to burn off the energy.
Yes.
As mine are getting older, they don't need to run quite as much, but when they were little, they needed to burn that energy off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that I love about the parks is something called Rider Switch. And that's really great when you have more than one child, or even one child that may not be too tall, or maybe just too scared of a ride, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It might be too intense for my youngest. So what you can do is something called Rider Switch. You take your family to the entrance to the ride and speak to a cast member and let them know you want to do Rider Switch. And they can then allow the first parent with the child that is able to go and wants to go onto that ride and do that experience. And when they come out, the other parent can go again with that same child who got to go on the first time. They get to do it twice and ride right in the lightning lane. They don't have to wait until the regular line. They go right in the quick lane, the right lightning lane, and get to do that ride with their child as well and get to experience and see that smile. And I always say when you do Rider Switch, just please plan ahead. I went through this, and I want to share this trauma with you as well, that, measure your child before you come. If you can, try your best. Get a measuring tape, line them against the wall, and try to figure out what their height is. And before you come to the park, you can actually see on WaltDisneyWorld.com or on the My Disney Experience app, you can actually see the height restrictions for certain rides and kind of have a gauge, okay, this one might be best for the oldest one. They really want to go on it. I'm going to plan ahead, and for that moment, I'm going to go do maybe this ride over here, or I'm going to play on this trail. Or sometimes there's like these pop-up playgrounds, like especially at EPCOT during festivals, that you could take them to and just distract them. And that's another top tip, have a means of distraction, bubbles, snacks.
Yes.
I mean, you have to have something, because I've had my nephew just cry because he didn't meet the height requirement. And so we said, you're not going to measure him again. We're going to know ahead We're going to plan, and we're going to separate before we even get to the ride, and have that set up, So
That's super fun.
Well, and I would say my other tip that goes with that is kind of study your park maps before you get here.
Okay.
And kind of know a general layout of the park. And so, my older son was just finally tall enough at Hollywood Studios to ride Rock and Roller Coaster, and my little one wasn't. But we told him in advance, like, you're not tall enough, like, what do you want to do? And he wanted to do the Lightning McQueen Racer Academy.
That's fun.
Okay.
So he and I split off. We went and did that. My older son went and did Rock and Roller Coaster. But if you study the park maps in advance, you kind of know, like, oh, they're going to go do this. This is close, so I'm going to go over here, and then we'll meet up later.
So smart. And I love that you mentioned playgrounds. So there are seasonal ones. Obviously, in EPCOT, we get seasonal ones with the festivals. But that's something that parents can really pay attention to when going to any of the parks. See if there's a playground that is maybe currently built.
I mean, we're near one right now here at Storybook Circus. There's almost like a splash pad right behind us where kids can just cool down and play, and they're not going to miss out on what big brother or sister is doing in another place with their mom or dad. So it's just a lot of fun. There's so many little things. You got to look around, but it's on the park map, guys. It's there.
Top tips already. Oh my gosh, I knew it. Expert moms. Now, we talked about so much already, but there are things beyond like the shows and attractions. Let's talk about some things that are offered to little ones and their parents that maybe aren't those things.
One thing, especially if you've never been here before, you really want that iconic photo with your favorite character, right? And there's so many opportunities all around the park for those photos.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I love Mickey, Minnie, and the gang. I love all of them. My children love them. They're not really into like princesses or other things. It's about Mickey and it's about Minnie. And we make sure that we try every visit to meet them in every park, in every outfit, in every look. I mean, I'm obsessed with their looks, by the way. I'm so excited that Pete's, Silly Sideshow is open again because they are dressed as circus characters, and that's a unique look. And you get that, one-on-one time with them and experience that. My favorite also is here in Magic Kingdom Park, Town Square Theater, and you see Mickey dressed in his finest, and I always make sure to book a lightning lane for that one. That one gets really popular, or I get there really early. I make it one of my top things. If you really want to meet Mickey, I like to do that one as well. But my top favorite meet and greet for Mickey and Minnie is actually at Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
Red Carpet Dreams is what it's called.
Okay.
And my daughter is obsessed with that one because Minnie is wearing her pink dress. And she wore pink that day. She met Minnie. And my daughter's really shy. My kids are both really shy. But if you just, talk to the characters and let them know, my daughter's really shy, or, my kid's really shy. They're so gentle. They're so loving. And they'll meet them where they are in connecting with them and making that moment really special. And then when you leave Minnie, you then enter into Sorcerer Mickey's room. And you see Yensid's spell book. And it looks like you're in a magic, chamber room or something. Like, it's amazing. And my son then loved that experience as well. We were both so excited. And that's my top outfit character meet and greet for my family. And if you're looking for something special, I'm sure you're going to find it. Okay. A seasonal look. You got to come back for this, the holidays. And then they're wearing a little, Christmas get-ups. I mean, you got to do that.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, I love the seasonal looks. Those are my favorite.
And I feel like every kid has a different interest, right? And so knowing your kid, if you have princess lovers in the family, there's so many opportunities for princesses. Anna and Elsa are over at EPCOT, and that's a really good one. I have a family of redheads, and we have a Scottish last name, so of course we had to go see Merida here in Magic Kingdom Park, right? Because, that makes sense for my family. But there's just so many good opportunities to see the characters all over. At the top of the My Disney Experience app, you can toggle between wait times and dining and attractions, but there will something that says characters. So click on that and make sure you can see where everybody is.
That's perfect. I love that. That's a great tip.
And you can filter by park too, which is really important.
Yes, that is super important. Yeah. So you're not overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned dining, which is a great segue because I know Nimmy loves a character dining experience.
Yes. Every time we come to the parks, we try to have at least one character dining experience if we can get one, if we have enough time. And I've learned the hard way. For my family, at least, that I aim to have a character meal for breakfast or lunch because I want them to be, the happiest with the most energy, and not burned out. So we love meeting characters. So one of my favorite memories I have, and this is how I learned this the hard way, and I'm going to share this with you all so that you can learn without having to go through this trauma, is that we did dinner at Crystal Palace.
Okay.
And we had a long park day. I mean, we were there at rope drop morning, crack of dawn, did the whole thing, and we had failed to take a break. My son was weeping at this dinner, and he was not able to handle any characters. He was not able to smile. He was just trying to survive. And I felt horrible as a mom that I made him go through this, and this experience was ruined. But Piglet showed up, and Piglet, I love him. He's now has a special place in my heart. Piglet, Piglet, in a very gentle manner, just patted my son and just kind of like calmed him down. And I have the only happiest picture I have is with Piglet. And it changed my mind. I was like, these are amazing experiences. You got to do them. But try to aim for when your child is the happiest. We were always saying, your kid is still the same kid when you left home.
They didn't change,
right? You know their temperament. You know when they're better. So try to plan it so that they're the most energetic and happy, and so that they can enjoy it and they're not weeping and you're not weeping. So mornings or lunch is my rule.
I love that.
Advise that.
And I think you're kind of the opposite, right, Lauren?
We've kind of moved into a phase where, we love dinner, but I think you just do what's best for your family, And I will tell you that with multiple kids, one thing that we really loved when they were younger was table service.
Okay.
Right? And so when they bring the food to you. So one of my favorite character meals for kids that have toddlers or preschoolers, if they're not wanting to get up to the buffet, is the Garden Grill at EPCOT. I love that. And I know Nimmy loves a good outfit on Mickey. And this is where you can see him in his farmer outfit. But at the Garden Grill, the two things I love about it for little ones is that it rotates. So the whole restaurant rotates through the land and you get different scenes. So it's kind of like entertainment for little ones, keeps them busy. The characters stop by your table, but they bring the food to you family style. And especially maybe mom and dad have 3 or 4 kids. It's a really, really good one because, I don't know about you, but sometimes mom eats last, right?
All the time.
Mom always eats last. And so when it's family style, I think sometimes that just works better for certain families. So that's a good one in my book.